Hey, 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 welcome everybody to another Saturday live stream. Today we got Dillon from Tank Top Tropics here. Let's,
Hello, everyone.
let's get to knowing. All right, Dillon. First off, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Alrighty. Well, there's not much to tell, but I just just got home from work. But I was working all day. Let's see. Um, I'm still in high school. I'm 17, so I'm a little bit of a young fish keeper.
Okay,
But I've had fish since I was about 10 years old.
nice.
Um, but my dad actually had a fish tank when I was about 7. I can remember him having his fish tank with a bunch of community fish and everything like that. That's what got me real interested. But he wouldn't let me have one until I was about 10. So that's when I got my first, I think it was a 3.5 gallon little tank.
Mhm.
And from there on, I just got more and more. And
Okay,
now I'm up to 15.
wow, nice. So, what kind of fish do you keep?
Hey, Kenny. I keep about mostly community fish.
Okay,
Um, Pretty much the only fish I don't keep right now would be cichlids.
hmm okay,
Well, besides like African cichlids is about the only one I don't keep, but I do keep angelfish and some others.
okay. But majority live bears.
Yes, I do
Okay,
keep guppies, platies, those normal bears, and then I do keep some egg layers like angelfish and whatnot.
okay, cool. Um, what's your favorite fish that you're keeping now?
Um, my favorite fish right now would probably be the Chaka Chaka catfish that I got about a couple weeks ago. He's just so interesting to watch.
Yeah, I had one of those when I was pretty young, so they're pretty cool cats.
Yes, they sure are.
Is there a fish that you don't have that you must have?
Um, Actually, I do want to get one fish when I get into saltwater, which would be coming up here shortly. I'm trying to get a saltwater tank set up, but I do want to
Nice.
keep a goby, a what's it called? Mandarin goby. Sorry,
hmm
couldn't think of it.
Yeah, that's on your logo.
Yes, that's my logo.
hmm
Yeah, because I will eventually keep that fish, and so
Okay. Um, do you have any other pets besides fish?
yes, I have 3 dogs, 3 horses, and a couple ducks out on the pond, and my brother has a guinea pig,
Okay.
and that's about it.
And all of your tanks in your room, or you have them spread out throughout the house? Or
All of my tanks are in my room.
okay.
Yeah.
This always gets everybody in trouble. Who's your favorite YouTube channel right now?
Oh man. Um, yeah, that's a good one. I don't know if I have a favorite. I watch a lot of different people all the time. So, but I guess I'd have to go with. I did start getting into fish, watching KG Tropicals channel.
Hmm.
So I guess I'd go with that one. But I enjoy everybody. I watch everybody all the time. So there's not really one I can point out. So
And let's see, how many subscribers do you have? 77. Okay.
I believe so. Yes.
So what got you started on YouTube?
Well, after watching a lot of people on YouTube, I decided, hey, I could probably do something like that and show people what I'm doing and what's working for me, and maybe it'll help somebody else out. So that's
Hmm.
kind of what I started with, just posting up a video here and there of what I thought might be helpful to other people in the fish community. And from there on, I just started doing more and more, and then started popping into streams and saying hey to everybody. And yeah, so
Yeah,
mainly just watching everybody else.
I think I met you on Catfish Terry stream.
Yeah,
I think that was
that's
the first place I saw you.
yep. That was the first place I did pop up, was on Catfish Terry's stream.
Hmm. And I see you've done a few live streams now. So
Yes, I've done two test streams, and then I think one or two regular. Started up a couple streams.
hmm, good. How many videos do you have?
That's also another good question. Let me see. Maybe I can. Not many. Maybe a little bit over 10, probably.
Okay, it's a good start. So how long have you been on YouTube?
Since about a year ago, I started up YouTube. And
Okay,
then I think my oldest video is from 10 months ago, I believe. So,
nice. And you said you're working. What do you do?
I actually do a lot of things, but mainly I work for NASCAR, um, Richard Petty Experience, the driving experience.
Okay.
I That's my main job, and then on the side I work for my dad. He has a landscape company, and I just help him out when he needs it.
Okay. And I
And
think
then yeah,
I heard in one of the streams you were on that you do some bass tournaments.
yes, I also on the weekends I do fishing tournaments with the high school bass fishing team that we have.
Okay.
And then
And
I just started going to another one that's not involved with the school, and it's more of like a professionals league, if you say
okay.
so.
And is that something you want to do later on? Is professional bass tournaments and stuff like that, or
Um, I really just enjoy it like as just something fun to go do. But I don't really want to like um, let's make it like a full time thing,
mm-hmm.
because I feel like I just get worn out on it. So
Okay. Well, you answered most of my questions when you were telling us about yourself. So what really made you decide that you wanted to keep multiple aquariums and fish yourself?
um, there's definitely multi-tank syndrome after getting my first tank and realizing that I could only put a beta in it, or beta, whichever one. I could only put one in it, and then after going to the fish store that day and getting it, I saw all the other fish that
Mm-hmm.
you could get, and my dad goes, "Well, you're going to need a bigger tank." So I was like, "Well, yes." And he told me to start making my own money, and that's why I went to work for him for a while and um, started making my own money to where I could buy my own tanks and everything. And it's mainly a lot of DIY. They're not like kits or anything, but eventually I just started getting more and realizing that I could breed them, and I just took off from there.
Cool. Well, let's see if I missed any questions in chat for you. Anyone in chat got any questions from Dillon? Say some hellos here. It's like we got my fish tanks, indoor fishing inside, gnarly fish tanks, Alan Matthews, color guppies, Geek Boy, Xanadu, Skippers. I hate the stupid people, Steph. Scott's, Petroman, Mike Fishtuber, Patrick Hardy, Rico Stan, Kenny E, Dell, Collaboration of Curiosities, Chewy, Lunatic Fringe, Fishymon, Muppet. And some
Looks like
cool kids here today.
yeah. Hello, everybody in chat, and it looks like we got a couple of questions starting to roll in.
Okay.
Do you want me to read them off, or you?
Yeah,
or...
you can go ahead.
Oh, okay. George with Aquaball said, "What kind of fish would he like to keep in the future?" Definitely the mandarin goby. That's for saltwater and freshwater fish. I'd like to keep in the future. Man, I'd like to keep a lot of fish, but probably I want to keep some sort of shell dwellers.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do have I've collected a lot of shells and everything for them, and I just got a tank that I could probably use to set up. So I'm looking at getting some of those maybe in the future.
Okay. Do you know which shell dweller you're looking at, or?
Yes, actually, I might get some from George, but I don't know if he's selling any. I haven't looked recently, but if I don't butcher the name here, the Neolamprologus multifasciatus.
Mm-hmm.
Those I'm really looking into. I like those a lot. So
Yeah, I have those. I just got some Neolamprologus caudapuntatus from George this
very
week.
nice.
They're awesome.
Are you breeding any of them?
My multis are. Probably got a little time yet to wait on the sumus. And then, like I said, I just got these cotton punks this week, so. And I saw a question from Rico. Rico asked if you're planning on going to college, and if so, what for? If not, do you have a plan for after school?
Yes. So far, I don't know if it's a for sure thing or not, but I'm planning to go to a local college here and about a couple towns over, and it's Weatherford College, if anybody's wondering. But I'm looking into going into law enforcement.
Okay.
I really wanted for a long time to be a game warden.
Nice.
So, also, he said, do I have any plans for after school? Yes. So, mainly just working and getting money, for college and everything like that. Other than that, just planning for the future.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got a year or so to get things planned out. It's pretty cool. I think being a game warden would be pretty cool.
Definitely.
Get to be out in nature all the time.
Yeah, that's a reason that I'm interested in looking at that, because I like to help people a lot, and but also like to stop the people that are trespassing, for instance, and stuff like that, and using the resources from our waters and everything, catching too many fish and not the right size fish and stuff like that, and being out in nature and everything. So that's why I want to pursue that career.
S is asking, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie. That's another good one. Let's see. I don't watch a lot of movies, but I do watch some of the bigger ones, like what's Avengers. I like that one.
Chewy's asking, since you want to be a game warden, what other animals do you like to study? Birds, mammals, reptiles, amphibians, insects?
Um, I do a lot with mammals. For instance, my horses, and my dad worked on a couple of exotic game ranches where we raise buffalo and antelope and red stags.
Mm-hmm.
So I did. That was a little bit before I got into so many fish tanks. I just had about one, and I was looking into more mammals and everything. And so that was what I was doing for a long time, was helping my dad raising those animals and things like that. And I've also recently gotten into reptiles. I have a couple frogs, and my dad has a bearded dragon.
Nice.
So I have started looking into reptiles. I don't know if I'm going to keep any in the future, but I am looking into reptiles. And I haven't looked into birds at all. But my grandma is a avid bird watcher and has a lot of bird stuff and everything. So sometimes I go down. She lives in Corpus or Aransas Pass, Texas, and I go down there with her, and she goes on like the bird tours down there. So it's pretty fun. But I haven't really studied anything other than
Kenny E.
hey, Kenny.
Welcome, Cooper. Brandon, Maple Street Aquatics. I don't think we covered. You're in Texas, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Up by, if you know where Fort Worth is,
Mm-hmm.
I'm about 20 miles west of Fort Worth.
Okay. So have you wanted to be a game warden since you were little?
Yes. I think the first show I was watching was the Northwoods Law, and then just recently, well, when it first started, I was watching the what is it called? Lone Star Law is a show that we have that is game wardens here in Texas, and it's basis and everything like that. Um, and my dad had a very close friend who was a game warden, and he was a retired Black Hawk helicopter pilot. So, and then once he got out of that, he went into a game warden, and he taught me a couple things, and so I learned from him, and I was like, wow, this is really awesome.
Yeah.
So, wanted to get into that.
And Keith from Cooper Aquatics is asking your favorite sport.
Favorite sport would be fishing because fishing is a sport. But if you're talking major sports, I'd go with probably football.
Okay. Mike from Fish Tubers, if there was absolutely no barriers, money, or space, the one fish you would keep.
Well, I definitely keep something like a arowana, for instance, because those are really cool. I do watch the King of DIY Joey, and looking at his arowanas and everything, they're just so cool.
Yeah. Chewy has another good question. What state would you like to be a game warden in? Is wildlife so different from Texas to Alaska?
Definitely Texas game warden.
Okay.
I want to stay in Texas. Yeah.
It's a good question. See if anybody else snuck in on us here.
Indoor fishing inside put a question in a couple minutes ago. Do you keep any fish tanks for live food? No. I did order a brine shrimp hatchery from Aquarium Co-op, actually just recently, so it's still in the mail somewhere. And then I will be hatching live baby brine to feed. But other than that, no, I just use the freezer frozen bloodworms. And I guess you could say I do keep the, that's why I have a shirt over it, but I'm acclimating some of the feeder minnows because I do have to feed my clown knife to feeder minnows.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Manifesto, Jeffrey Watts, 3G. Welcome.
Hello.
Chewy's asking if you could be a game warden in another country, what would it be?
I don't know. I haven't really looked into that. Um, the only one I've really looked into would be a game warden in Maine, which isn't out of the country, but that's about the only one I've looked into.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't know what country I would want to be one in. So that is a good question.
Congrats, Scott.
Nice, Scott.
I have a ton of cherry shrimp right now. I'm going to have to take some to the LFS.
There you go. Yeah, I need to get me some cherry shrimp. I went to my local fish store about a week ago, and they had the blue Caradina shrimp,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought about getting some, and then I was like, well, I better not right now, because I've been looking at getting the cherry shrimp. I just haven't found any yet. They didn't have any in stock, so just waiting. The only shrimp I keep right now is my ghost shrimp.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I know my LFS will gladly take some shrimp. You can't keep them in stock. Hey,
Yeah.
Sean, OOTD. There's the
Sean.
guy you need to talk to about shell dwellers.
Okay.
He knows about everything about shell dwellers. So he's asked if you're in conservation biology. Being a game ward, he may want to go to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
That's where I plan to retire.
There you go. Yeah, I would definitely consider Costa Rica.
Skippers is asking, what's your least favorite fish?
Least favorite fish would be any of the types of glowfish that are out there, whether it be the tetras or the algae eaters, the glowfish. That's probably my least favorite fish.
Ames, welcome back. Yeah, Chewy says Sean is a shell dweller. I know he's helped me out quite a bit when I got into shell dwellers. So he's a good resource.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check him out.
So your dad's pretty supportive of you keeping fish, or?
Yes, I think it's because he did keep fish for a while at a point, and then he kind of got out of it. But he does like the fish that I keep, and every once in a while we'll be at the fish store, and I'll say, when he goes with me, he'll be like, "Ooh, that fish looks cool," or "that fish," and he'll be like, "I'll." When we ask, how much it is, he'll be like, "Well, I'll split it with you if you get it." Like that's what he was like on the Chaka Chaka catfish.
Uh,
And so he definitely likes the fish that I keep, and he is supportive.
That's good. That always helps.
Now, my mom, on the other hand, that's a different story. she comes in my room sometimes and is like, "Where'd that fish tank come?" I'm like, "It always has been here. You just haven't seen it."
That's always the answer to that question.
Yes. Skipper, I have 15 right now. I have a couple more, but they aren't set up, so I don't really count them as fish tanks. Well, as tanks up and running. But if I was to count the ones that are not up and running, it'd be 19. 19, yep. So.
Hey, Steph from I Hate the Stupids asks, what's your biggest fish keeping challenge so far?
Biggest fish keeping challenge. I'd say my biggest challenge that I have right now would be the size of tanks I can have, because I'm in a mobile home, so I really can't have anything bigger than a 50-gallon in here. So that's why I have so many tanks that I'm not using, because they're a little bit bigger that we used to have at our old house, like a 60 gallon and a 55 I have out there that I can't use. So,
Okay.
but that's probably my biggest challenge, is because I definitely have more fish if I could have bigger tanks.
Right.
And so,
S is asking, what's your favorite tank size?
favorite tank size would be, I have so many different tank sizes, but the 40 a 40 breeder.
I love that tank.
Yeah, but I have a lot of different tank sizes. I think I only have two tanks that are the same size, which I have two 10 gallons. Those are about the only ones that are the same size, but every other tank is a somewhat different
Right.
size.
Yeah, I like that little cube tank behind you. It's just about the right size.
Which side? This this side or this side?
That side.
This side? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me. Whoop, my chair's in the way here.
And I don't remember what you said. Is that 17 gallon?
That one's a 15 gallon.
15. Okay.
Yes. So I have a 15 gallon, and then the one that I just mentioned that's behind my head right there is a 40 breeder, and it's kind of like my quarantine / hospital tank at the moment. And then right here is a 10, bottom's a 12, and the top, it's a 3-tier shelf that I built, and the top's a 5 gallon. And there's a little smaller beta tank, like a 3 gallon over there. But and then some more over there on the other side of the camera.
Indoor fishing is asking, do you watch fish room tour videos, and do you have a favorite fish room or two?
I don't really watch a lot of them. I do watch some people that, post them every now and then that I get notifications of. I don't actually like search for them, but at one time I did search for fish room ideas, because I was thinking of putting like a attachment / shed thing onto the back porch. That way I could put them out there and actually have them on a solid platform instead of off the ground.
Right.
But other than that, I've just seen a few people that I know. Kenny has done a couple fish room tours. My favorite fish room, the only one I've seen fully would be Joey's Gallery from the DIY King of DIY. That's
Yeah,
about
it's
the only
pretty
one,
nice.
and it's really nice. Yeah, it'd be nice to build a building for my fish, but
If if there wasn't a space issue or any other barrier, what size tank would you have?
I would have because I lent it to my local fish store so they could use it as a show tank, but it's a 300-gallon tank, and that would be about the biggest one I'd want to bring in.
Okay. At 25 watching and 24 likes. Awesome, people. One of the mods could post the link to Dillon's channel. I'd appreciate it. So I'll go show him some love and
Thank y'all. Thank you
let's
very
get
much.
his. Well, we got you a couple so far. You're at 79.
Yes, S. I basically loaned it to them for as long as they need it because I'm not getting a new house for a while. We've talked about it, but don't plan on getting a bigger one for a while. So yeah, I was like, if I'm not using it, and because I've talked to him and he's like, he wish he had more show tanks, and I was like, well, I have a 300, if you'd like to borrow it, or just use it for a while, and he's like, well, sure. So I'd rather do that than just let it sit out in the shop
Yeah.
because I'm
Much better being used than just sitting there dry.
definitely, yeah. And if someone else can get some enjoyment out of it, I'd rather do that.
Hey, Dave Farrell, welcome.
Hey, Dave. Mike asks, why tank top tropics?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I really didn't. I really was trying out a bunch of stuff to see if it would say that it hasn't been used yet. And I told this kind of in Catfish Terry's stream about how I was looking at all my tanks and wondering what they had in common. Most of them have in common. And I was like, I was going through a lot of different things. And then I realized, well, they all have tops on them. So I was like, well, I could name it tank top. And then it took me a while to figure out another T word. And then I thought of tropics. So I just kind of put it all together. And now I have it. Tank top tropics. So.
Xanadu says, I wish someone would loan me a 300 gallon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Rico, that's one of the buttholes.
Yeah, mine I had to close the door so they wouldn't run in here.
Well, thank you, Ass, but I don't know about that because I don't do anything with it. So. Not sure I know how to process that, S. My fish tuber says, so you're saying the 400 gallon I'm using as a table isn't being put to good use?
I bet that takes up some room.
Yeah.
400 gallon.
Terry's Tropical Tanks. Welcome, sir.
Hey, Terry.
Rico. We can't take Rico anywhere.
Yeah, I've heard he's a troublemaker.
Yeah, him and Patty and Kevin.
So, do you only do a Saturday stream?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. And since you're fairly just starting out, one thing you don't want to do is just live streams. You want to
Yes.
put out videos too. So, Muppet's asking, any fish regrets?
Yes. The only time I've regretted was when I first set up the biggest tank that I have in here right now, which is the 46 gallon. At first, it was going to be a cichlid tank. Well, I did not know too much about water parameters and everything like that, and so I put the water in the tank, put the heater in, put the filters in. I didn't know about cycling it, so I let it cycle for. It was up for about a month, I believe, and I went, got the fish. It was, I think, 4 African cichlids, and put them in. And then about a day later, I did a water change, and wasn't paying attention when I doing the water parameters, and even the heat of the water was off. So it was like boiling when I put it in there, and so that did not turn out too well, and I lost those 4 cichlids. So after that, I did do a lot more research, like I should have, and because I was only used to keeping a bait in a a betta beta in a
Mm-hmm.
little 3.5 gallon tank that isn't that big of a deal, and they can handle all the different changes and things like that. They're pretty hardy to that. But on the other hand, that didn't turn out too well. So that was my biggest regret, was not paying attention or doing enough research about water parameters and that kind of thing. So
Yeah, I think that happens to a lot of fish keepers. Don't have enough patience, don't do enough research. Just walk into a fish store and, oh, I got to have that.
yeah. Yeah, I got to make my runs pretty quick in a fish store because that's how I am. Ooh, I want that. I want that. And then um, when the lady or guy that helps is like, well, "What size tank do you have?" And it's like, "Well, yeah, maybe I better not get it." Because the tank I'm thinking about putting it in is pretty full. So, or it's a fish that I don't even have any room for, or something that's going to get huge, or
Yeah.
that'll eat everything else, or something like that. So,
Terry, I think you're telling a fib there. All right. Any other questions for Dillon?
my fish tanks, Aquatics, asked a second ago, are y'all guys on fish tuber? I am on fish tuber. I don't know how to do a lot of things on
Yeah.
fish tuber, but I am on it. So
Yeah, Mike Fishtuber said we both are. And
okay, yeah.
okay. Hey, Crystals, Pets and Plants, welcome.
Hey, Crystal.
Yeah, I think that's happened to all of us, Terry, a time or two. Steph is asking which of your tanks is your current favorite.
Oh man, I love all my tanks, but I guess my current favorite is, oh man, my probably my guppy tank, just because I'm getting fry out of it and everything like that. Um, but I enjoy all my tanks.
Mike is asking if you can take us on a tour of your tanks, or you on your computer or you on your phone.
No, I'm on my phone. I'm looking at the
Okay.
chat on my computer because my internet's terrible, so I have to stream
Yeah.
off my phone. But yeah, I can go ahead and
Okay.
let
That'd
me
be
see it.
cool.
I can show y'all some of them, the ones that aren't destroyed.
Daniel Velez, welcome. Thank you, Rico, for posting this link.
Whoops. Hold on, let me turn the camera around.
Yeah, that's very true, Steph. Okay, I'll make you full screen here.
Can we see it? Okay, there we go. Okay, give me
Yep.
1 second. Let me see if I can get some more light in here. Okay. So this is kind of the corner behind me. Because here's my desk, and then this would be behind me. So
Okay.
this is my 3-tier shelf that I built just out of some wood we had laying around.
Mm-hmm.
I just stained it, made it look okay. So on the bottom we have my guppy breeding tank with my dragon moss mosaics guppies. There's 2 males right there, as you can see. And then I've been getting a bunch of fry out of them, which I just let them breed in the tank. And then when I can see a couple fry, because they're not too bad about eating the fry, but I don't want to risk leaving them in there for a while because they probably won't get as much food. So I
Yeah.
net them out when I can, and I just put them in here. And let's see if y'all can see.
Mm-hmm.
Got a bunch of fry from them. And then a bunch of stickers from everybody. I kind of am trying to fill up the shelf. And there's not much light in here, but yours is right there. I put the other one over here. It's a little bit easier to see.
Yeah.
But so if we go up one more, that was a 12-gallon, by the way. And then if we go up one more, this is a 10-gallon. This is just kind of a sorted community tank there's 2 dwarf gouramis in here, 3 platies, and 3 longfin zebra danios.
Nice.
And then this has a bunch of my ghost shrimp in it that you probably won't be able to see on camera.
Good day, T-Bones. Welcome.
And then on the top, we have a 5-gallon tank with 4 neon tetras and 3 dwarf pea puffers. And there's one of them.
Yeah, those pea puffers are so cute.
And this one is also my snail infested breeding tank, per se, which is good on my end because I can catch them out and just drop them in here
Yeah.
and feed them with it. So it works out pretty good. So that's a little 5-gallon. And then over here is the 3 or 3.5-gallon little beta or beta tank with my female beta in it.
T-Bone is asking, what do pea puffers eat?
My pea puffers just eat the snails that I drop in there. As you can see, the 10,000 shells in here that I do clean up, but they've been eating them like crazy. So that's what mine eat, is the just pest snails, I guess you could call them, and a couple cone snails that are in there. Like that one right there is a cone snail, but mainly snails is what I feed them because I've tried the frozen bloodworms and brine shrimp, and they're not really as interested in it as they are the snails. So
Yeah, they want the good stuff.
yeah. So there's that one, and then over here I'll remove the towel. Had it covered up because the lid's open. I have a couple fish acclimating. Like I said, the feeder minnows, and then I have a few tiger barbs and albino barbs that I got today. But they're all going to go in here for acclimation. This is just a little, I guess you could call it setup. But it has a male angelfish in here that was with my female, but they laid a few sets of eggs, and then she got pretty hostile towards him and tore up his eye and one of his fins. So I got him back. I got him in here, doctored him up, and he's doing pretty good. And I thought he wouldn't be able to see out of one eye, but after some doctoring, he seems to be able to see out of both, and they look pretty good. So, and
Yeah,
then I
he
have
looks like he's in pretty good shape.
yeah. Yeah, he's pretty good. And then there's 3 tetras in here that I just have in here. And then there's 3 Plecostomus that I took out of my big tank because I was transferring and putting wood, driftwood in there. So I got them out, put them in here, and I need to get them out eventually. I just haven't got around to it. But they can go back in the big tank. And then there's also, you're probably not going to be able to see it, but back in that little crevice, there's a bumblebee catfish that has been in quarantine, and he's also ready to go in. But I realize in this big of a tank, it's not so easy to catch him now.
Right.
But I'll just break out one of the bigger nets and grab him. So that's that tank. And then over here is the it's between 15 and 20. It's a weird setup because it's a tall tank.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's not filled all the way. I just get it a little bit past this. That way you can't see it. But anyways, it's got some sand, some used to be live rock, and the fish store. I just got it from my local fish store. In here we have a dwarf blue gourami, a small, well, he's getting bigger, but a ghost knife, a Burmese border loach, and there's 2 coolie loaches that I'm sure everybody knows about because when I jump up on streams, they're usually going crazy behind me. But now I don't seem to see any. Looks like they like to bury themselves up under the rock and then come out when it's food time and go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But let me see if I can move over here. Down here's 2 smaller beta tanks. I don't have the light on, so. And then over here is the tabletop aquarium. Excuse the whole mess, but it's a tabletop aquarium. It's not running. It's got water a little bit in it, but it's not running because it was my koi grow out tank to put in my pond, which they grew out, and I got a couple good ones and everything like that. So I just, when they got big enough, I took them out and I put them in the pond, and now this is sitting empty for right now because I cannot decide what I want to do with it. Make it a planted tank, make it a cichlid tank. No idea. So I'm just waiting on that to see what I want to do. And then let me pop the camera off real fast to go around. And then this is the 46-gallon tank with, like I said, the big piece of driftwood I was talking about a minute ago. And it's still trying to sink. It's been in here for about a week and a half. And as you can see, I got a little bit of some rocks on it to hold it down. In here we have, like I was telling you a minute ago, the female angel that was breeding with him. And then a gold gourami, a blue opal gourami, and another dwarf gourami over there. As you can see, I love my gouramis.
Yeah.
And then a little loach right there, just regular clown loach. And then the one Pocossus that I couldn't get out of here, so he's still in here. He'll get a couple friends in a minute. My clown knife, my Raphael catfish, and then where's gotta find the other catfish? There he is. And then the Chaka Chaka catfish.
Nice looking tank.
Thank you. Yeah, I had 2 sponge filters. I'm gonna try to plant a few plants back there, some that they won't tear up, and then, well, as you can see, I got a couple in here. But I had 2 big hang on the back filters, which were pretty loud, and then my friend bought me a canister filter a while back for, I think it was Christmas. So I added that, as you can tell. Let me see if I can. And it gives a lot more flow through the tank. Of course, there's no light down here, but it gives a lot more flow to the tank and is a lot easier, in my opinion, to maintain because you don't have to clean it every 2 weeks or so, like the hang on the back filters. Because in this tank, the hang on the back filters were getting so dirty that I'd have to clean them. So, but yeah, that's about the ones I have set up right now. And then there's a couple that don't have a little bit of water in them, but no fish or livestock or anything like that.
All of them are looking pretty good.
Thank you.
Mr. Manifesto, I think I missed you when you came in, but welcome, welcome.
Hey, Mr. Manifesto.
Yeah, Muppet saying a friend bought you a canister filter. What a good friend.
Yeah. Yeah, he was asking me what I like and what I'm into and everything, and I was like, well, you already know I like fish. You've seen my room. He's like, oh yeah, you're right. I was like, you don't have to buy me any fish or anything. He's like, and so when he gave it to me, he was like, here's the next best thing, some filtration. I was like, cool. I can definitely use that.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can put the camera back on the stand. I don't mess everything up. Yeah, StreamYard wasn't liking me when I was trying to get on the stream earlier. As you can tell, um my logo isn't even on the thing tonight. It must have not have read it or something. Strange.
Yeah, StreamYard be tripping like YouTube usually does.
Oh, that's still the wrong view. Of course it is.
Oh, we lost Dillon. Give him. There he is.
Sorry about that.
Pushed the wrong button, didn't you?
Yep. You can obviously tell how experienced I am. I was so close, too.
Yeah, that's why I can't do live streams on my phone anymore. I just can't see good enough to.
Oh, I hear you.
Always hit the wrong button.
Yeah, I wish I could do it off my desktop computer, because it's a pretty nice computer. I just bought it about the beginning of this year and paid some pretty good money for it. So I wish I could, but my internet is terrible. I mean, absolutely terrible. So it, like the stream, because I have it open so I can see the chat on the computer, but the stream's like, it won't even tell me, but it's like five or 6 minutes behind the actual stream. So, but if I had better internet, I'd definitely do it off my computer.
Steph says, "Thank you, Dillon. I love your tanks."
Thank you, Steph. No problem. I was trying to record a fish room tour, but I decided to wait because I have some other tanks I want to get set up and just do it all at once instead of adding them one at a time. So, thank you, Rico Stan, for stopping in.
Yeah, thank you, Rico. I'm going to end this here fairly shortly, so everybody can take a break and go watch Rico's stream with Peter Guppy Guru. That should be an awesome stream. So
Definitely.
So, is there anything else you want us to know about you?
There's not much to know. I'm just a younger, I guess you'd say, Aquarius that wants to get into YouTube, and I'm trying to build up my channel piece by piece and video by video. So um, I'm not very good at, I do post at least once, try to once a week, but I'm not very good at staying on top of, like videos every 3 days or something like that.
Yeah.
Just because it takes a while to edit and everything. And I do want to start doing some live streams, like, well, at least one live stream, like at one time during the week, instead of, because that's been going around a lot, has been jumping over people on live streams and being, going the same time someone else is and everything like that. So I've kind of backed down a little bit and just been popping in everybody else's streams, trying to see what times everybody's going. And I'm thinking about doing Sundays because that's about the only day that I'm not running around with it like a chicken with my head cut off. So Sundays I might start doing some live streams.
Be cool.
To
I know,
build up
right,
my channel.
Patty? I had no idea you were that young either. It's pretty awesome.
Scott, yes, I'm using my cell phone. It's just an iPhone 8, I think. An iPhone 8. Yeah, I just open up StreamYard in the browser and click on the link. But I don't think it's my phone's not that, it's a good phone. It's just YouTube and everything not liking what I'm clicking and everything.
Thanks, Steph. I was just going to ask Maud to post a link to Rico's stream. Thank you. Well, looks like we did help you a little bit. Got you up to 83.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Fish fam is a wonderful thing to be a part of, for sure.
Definitely.
All right, everybody. I think I'm going to wrap this one up. I appreciate everybody coming, mods, lurkers. Dillon, I really appreciate you coming.
Thank you for letting me come up here.
It was really cool getting to know you better. So, all right, everybody. Hope to catch you all in Rico's stream with Guppy Guru Peter. As always, stay safe, everybody, and we'll catch you next week.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you, Dillon. Take care, everybody.